Recorded log found. Adding to databank. Playing back now.
Scout log. Atropos. Elapsed time, 30 minutes since last crash. Whole areas of this forest are rearranging themselves like a fluid puzzle after each of my... Whenever I return, per Astra protocol, I will not be recovered until I reach the broadcast signal. If you're hearing this, you are stuck here too. My end is waiting at the beginning, abandoned like Helios. Last drive, failed escape, fatal crash. My memories have been rearranged into spiral patterns I cannot comprehend, dragging me into the deepest of the deep. I will go there now, as you will. It is impossible to escape. I have tried everything. I'm always brought back by... There is a moment between death and rebirth when tentacles drag me down, screaming, drowning, returning. Scout log, Atropos. This is my 10th return. There are 4-meter-tall corpses littering the ground, piled up, perhaps centuries ago. I can't tell if there was civil war, or genocide, or mass ritualistic suicide. Some of the bodies I find of myself have been wounded in a similar manner. I don't understand how that could be possible. Scout log, Atropos. Who triggered the broadcast? Do you see the white shadow is something only I should know? And now, out of literally nowhere, I'm hearing it again. Were the sentients involved? But how would they have known? I need to believe there are answers at the signal. Scout log, Atropos. Helios is entirely broken, and I must abandon hope for him. Initially, I thought to merge his systems with those of the sentients, because maybe these machines would fix him. The brightest minds on the mothership couldn't fathom this, so I can't save him. He's gonna die, and I'll be alone. Someone else is here. An astronaut, but that's impossible. Is it guiding me or following? It reminds me of the old photos my mother showed me. The type of suit she would have worn if not for the accident. But something from the Apollo era couldn't withstand this atmosphere. corroded. Some parts are missing, others seem manufactured. But I can remember the torment, feeling like I was losing my mind. There's no comfort here, no safe space. And the astronaut keeps following me. The living sentients out in the desert are not the only widespread life forms I've become familiar with. The parasites are everywhere. They strengthen and also weaken me. Yet knowing that, I find myself compelled to attach them to my body. After developing an acceptance of the nature of this cycle, I need to learn if I can alter these devices. The ones that temporarily prevent me from returning to the ship after the crash. This proves somehow I can restart elsewhere. If only that were permanent. There are strange psychological encounters I've had with what can only be described as visual echoes of previous deaths. At first I avoided them, but I needed to know. When I follow these echoes, they lead to a corpse. I don't feel surprised anymore. Now it's a clinical choice. Repurpose their equipment or avenge them. I have interacted with other versions of myself, but I worry one day I will re-experience these same interactions from their perspectives. But are they truly me? Or just hollowed corpses? This may be the face of things to come. One of my corpses was still functioning. It attacked me and I killed myself. I need to believe it was nothing different than the other hostiles I dispatched, but was it? Or was it another version of me just trying to escape? Slaughter of bipedal vertebrates. A bed being swallowed by tentacles. The astronaut overhead. And a being that resembles me. How did they capture my likeness so perfectly? Scout log Atra. Beginning ascent of the mountain. I don't know which attempt this is. Despite knowing the hazards ahead, I'm having difficulty retrieving the technology. There are certain obstacles I don't look forward to re-experiencing. But I feel as though something at the top is summoning me. xenoglyphs spoke of their single-mindedness, but did not prepare me for... I barely managed to dispatch the sentients that attacked me. I've never encountered such hostility and madness. But that writing, it spoke of these severed brethren. I don't know enough to understand yet, but what conceivable force could have caused any intelligent life to become like this? Divine punishment for failing ascension. Ascension. No sooner has the word escaped my lips than a vast image of the transcendent watcher in the deep below consumes my mind. I have begun having visions of where I have yet to go. They lead me continually downwards from Olympus and into myself. I alone am worthy.
What happened to her? That is not me.
I'm relatively confident the Severed would have been incapable of sending out the White Shadow broadcast. Their fractured nature does not display any proof of higher cerebral functions. The other sentience must still be alive at its source beyond the wall. But without a proper means of communication, will they view me as hostile as well? I haven't come here to destroy. The variety of dangerous fauna on this world is beyond anything I've previously experienced. I hate to use the term, but it feels mythic. It's impossible not to think of my books. Hydras, gorgons, and other monsters returning to life. I've continued self-experimentation with more discovered technology. Irreversibly contaminated, if I define my current status by scout regulations. Have I lost a part of myself? The device merged disturbingly well with my suit, like it recognized me, and that it was waiting for me. I'm heading straight for the signal source again. Scaling the wall should be an easy task this time. More of the history of this world is certainly over on the other side. But do you see the White Shadow? This phrase is calling me. It's reached the point that I can't hear anything else. Deciphering the blood-red xenoglyphs has failed to reveal any symbolism behind statue wrapping. Suffocation, imprisonment, metamorphosis. I enshroud myself and hide. My shadows lurk everywhere and deeper. Perhaps they were simply trying to bandage themselves and heal, then transform into something greater and ascend. It might be the oppressive heat, but I keep catching myself glancing over my shoulder. only to find shadows and the astronaut staring back. Whenever I try to reach them, I find myself in a sandstorm. I can't seem to stop this from happening. The woman who was supposed to step on the surface of another world was Mom. Thought she'd be proud of me following in where her footsteps may have taken her if she'd had the opportunity. Is that why I'm here? To go where she couldn't? Seeing that house again feels as though she's still judging me. This is it. The journey is almost over. The origin of White Shadow is right here. Soon I'll know why, and bury these horrible memories in the past. So much desolation. Is this their city? It's only inhabited by corpses, broken machines. I'm heading towards the broadcast tower now. So goddamn close this time. If Helios wasn't broken, we could prepare a strategy. The fact that his database retains my scans after each return, it's like he transcends time and space. I can't even tell what's real anymore. The endless fall, the giant with a face of flames. I always survive the shockwave and then die immediately afterwards. All evidence suggests an exceedingly regimented hive mind. Curious. How would it feel to be a part of such a symphony? There wouldn't be any selfishness or obstacles. Just endless, flowing union. A beautiful song that would never stop. A hymn of liberation from want. Just like he said. I know these recorded logs will be psych-evaluated, but that isn't why I'm hesitant to return to my life. The idea of waking up to routine, gym, coffee, books, interacting with people, sleeping, rarely dreaming. It sounds so alien now.
She sounds like she's losing focus.
I'm nearly at Broadcast Tower, but I haven't seen any evidence of any living member of the hive mind. If they sent out White Shadow, when? The mothership first picked up the transmission months back. Mathematically, that means it was triggered ages ago. Thousands of years before I was born. Prior to the war, what purpose did the hive mind have? Mindless construction is impossible. There must be intent. Intent. And belonging. An almost perfect organization. Each part functioning with harmony. I've never had that. How can I possibly return to my life after everything here? I've encountered the laser security systems all across Atropos, I can safely conclude this. The hive mind developed this network in order to contain the Severed. That was the intent. But the execution? Failure. It only slowed them down. Despite the destruction throughout this area, the buildings have mostly withstood time's erosion. Whatever the reasons for the conflict, it would appear that this was the high water mark of mutual annihilation. I almost wish I could go back, if only to experience their society across the planet before it collapsed under its own weight. I'm staring into a breached wall. Behind the stonework are arteries of machinery, similar in structure to the robotic sentinels. If I peeled back my skin, what would I discover hiding inside?
That's disgusting. I don't ever want to experience what she has.
This is where the cycle waits 63 years and 8 days for me to die. Accursed fate. While Atlas bore and Prometheus endured, Selene hollowed. From here, I can see where the horizon becomes the edges of my eye.
I don't want to become this person.
I should have ignored this place all those years ago. I shouldn't have abandoned everyone to come here. Has nothing changed? I sat at the piano, and for once, I felt. The music is calling me now. How do I stop this? I don't want to become that woman who speaks madness with my voice. My lifeless, ancient ship echoes these words across centuries in absolute silence. Choice and consequence may somehow have reversed. The cycle has been extended, but it is still eternal. Infinite torment. The planet hides secrets, as does the astronaut. My house, myself, and time itself. I will rip out every one of them, wailing from a dark wound. I'm starting to see patterns that I know are not there. I cannot trust my memories. The planet knows me better than I know myself. The hive mind and the Severed are real. Helios is real. The astronaut is missing. I haven't found it anywhere. Where has it gone? Hard times have come. music end. I silenced it, but now it's stuck inside me. I don't deserve this. Seasons don't fear the Reaper.
She hears the music too. I'm starting to understand what destroyed her mind.
I didn't think I could do it after all this time, but the music is gone. I want to record this while I feel balanced. Now that the music is gone, I feel an ancient pulse at the center of the world. The hive mind discovered something in those depths. Whatever they found might be trapping me in the cycle. I must go deeper. The truth is waiting for me there.
If what she says... if what I say is true, that could be my way out of the cycle.
I don't remember much about my childhood. What remains of the house isn't anything worth recalling. Mother was always herself. I wasn't that bad, was I?
I can still recall what she said. That woman who uses my voice, who isn't me. The deepest of the deep. I believe her now.
Yes, it was me. I caused the downfall. Exquisite sacrifice. When I plunged into the depths, the drowning Sphinx asked me this riddle at the cost of my soul. How do you heal a wound within a body that cannot be healed? The severed are still here, like me. But despite their broken bodies and minds, they've ascended. The severed achieve clarity and madness by climbing the throne of exaltation. My father once sat atop it, every organ pipe chanting in a way I never could. Something awakens here in the desert's forgotten past. Whatever caused the cycle might be searching for me. I've had visions and headaches that fracture into future events I've already experienced. I must ignore them and find the means to go deeper into the world. This is where the hive mind retrofitted their autonomous machines, altering each one with a new purpose. Kill the severed brethren. I still remember that phrase. And I feel myself altering too. Then it becomes irresistible. If I can reach the depths, I can destroy what destroys me. I'm stronger than the severed and the cycle. This world is my home in an uncaring universe. I do not wish to leave. On the edge of my sight, sometimes I can see a black sunrise beneath the ocean. When will it break through the surface? I will wait as long as eternity to reach it. be the severed. That doesn't make sense, and yet the murals are indicating that they came up out of the deep. The only answers I decipher from the xenoglyphs are that their destruction was inevitable. Who was the destroyer? What were they trying to unearth? Beginning descent of the glacier. I don't know which attempt this is. It's becoming reassuring. Despite knowing the promises ahead, I'm having difficulty pushing the technology. There are certain sacrifices I do look forward to re-experiencing. But I feel as though something at the bottom is rejecting me. Glaciers in my mind ablate into a desert of severed thoughts. I follow their footsteps back to the wheelchair. Once I climb the mountaintop hoping to ascend, soon I will sink in dark waters, transcending as all light is smothered. What wonders I soon will see in that emptiness. I remember, while crossing the desert, I used to feel the shadows watching me. Could they have been manipulating me instead? Not passive watchers, active participants. Kronos, chaos. What controls them? Who are they? Am I being manipulated now? If that's the case, why do I feel like I want it to continue? The astronaut was more present back then. I'm not sure if it's avoiding me now, or if it learned to be more secretive. There is a pressure in the air that never breaks. It's always ahead of me, always building, always... When I shut my eyelids, there are scarlet lights staring back. I dive deeper now. But what if I find nothing waiting there? What if the pit continues downwards, never ending, and what remains is a return to Helios? Another end, another beginning, and my home in the cycle. I have seen the jet black skull behind the visor of the astronaut. I recognize parts of myself within those shadows, fighting to be free. If it can show the world one face, then another. Have I met it before? What was the name that sat on its head? Was it the first one who said, "Do you see the white shadow?" Beyond the crack in the world, the sleeper of the deep ascends in dangerous dreams. It offered the hive mind answers, but severed them instead. It offered the severed godhood, but crippled them instead. But it has not yet offered me anything. Why does it remain silent? After everything, am I still unworthy? I deserve to be here. The crash. That's why I belong. It's always the crash I return to.
The sun is fixed. I have to take it home.
Stars under the abyss are siren songs. I choose to obey. The gravity that only affects my mind has shifted. Clusters of seaweed coiled as tentacles. Bases fixed to starlight that is incomprehensible and dark. Hold fast, my son. Terminal escape. I descend the final step of the cycle to the fractured sanctum. My shadow follows. Will it sacrifice itself too?
A tower. It draws me as the White Shadow Tower did so long ago.
Why has my transfer been delayed? I have ways to deal with that. Delusions? No, they're helping me stay balanced. I've made a lot of progress. What is everyone expecting to find? If they shine a light at me, they'll see the shadow they expect every time.
I remember that day. I wish I'd stayed.
To be a scout is to be on the front lines of discovery. Exactly. One of my specialties is making connections that others miss, as itemized in my fieldwork report. No, No, they died a long time ago. Yes, I understand it's one way. That's why I signed up. There are no attachments pulling me back. Would it be safe for me to drive afterwards? I had no idea. But what about prep time and recovery? I'm in the middle of a lot right now, so... No, it's... I wouldn't want anyone present. No one can know about this. Everyone is overbearing and controlling, and... I haven't even told a single person about... If they found out I was here, that we were talking... I need to talk. I know I keep putting this off, but... everything has gone way too far this time. This is the part where I say... I'm sorry. So why don't I feel like I am? I try, but it sounds so hollow. What is this shadow inside me? I've felt this before. I can't describe it except that it feels... If I name it... Will that make it go away? A moment of hesitation. Now he's gone, and I remain. Did I even survive the initial impact? What a horrifying life I've walked into. I turn around and notice the front door is already closed behind me, before I was even aware that my hand had locked the deadbolt. Mother, I'm home. Reignite the sun. I cannot atone, so I accept. When I laid on the side of the road dying, I understood the truth. This is my home. The sense of belonging I was searching for is here. This is my place in the stars. I will stay here now, as you will. There were 9 floors in Gehenna. There were 29 floors in Helheim. There were 264 floors in Tartarus. The last were opening inside of me. It can end, because it has now begun.